We are spending the next 45 days in the Philippines, visiting 5 incredible islands: Cebu, Bohol, Siquijor, Palawan, and Coron. Join us as we learn to dive with the sardines in Moalboal, explore the countless waterfalls on Siquijor, and island hop our way around Coron in this comprehensive Philippines mega vlog. We have arrived.
We have arrived.
We've arrived in Cebu City. Biggest difference so far? The temperature.
Yeah.
It was what, like -4, I think, this morning when we were leaving South Korea. And I think it's around 35 degrees with the humidity right now. Already been losing some layers and looking forward to getting on some shorts.
Yes. All right, let's get out of here.
Okay. Well, we're in Cebu City, first of all. But we've come to a place called Nane's Grill. Basically, Dave looked up, I think before we even left Canada, kind of like a popular food place near our hotel, knowing that we would get in and be very hungry. And this place just has incredible reviews. So we got a couple of different things. I did the grilled chicken salad, which I believe is going to be grilled chicken with some garlic rice and a fried egg. Dave got us some barbecue skewers to share, I assume. One was chorizo and one was pork belly. And then Dave also got something called a pork chop sizzler, which I think is coming with rice, and I have no idea what else. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what comes out. All right, so our food just arrived. First impressions, the garlic rice I'm very excited about. It looks like it's got big chunks of like actual garlic in it. A huge fan of garlic. And then the fried egg looks great too. The chicken, I'm curious to see how it all tastes. Oh yeah. That like charred garlic that's in it. That's really good. We got some fried egg here. Can't go wrong with a fried egg. And now, the chicken. So yeah, the menu just said grilled chicken and it came with these things, so I wasn't really sure what I was going to get. So it looks like a chicken leg. It's been grilled and then it's got a barbecue sauce on it. All right, that's pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie, the look of it initially had me kind of questioning here, but that's really tasty.
So I got the sizzler with a pork chop. So I'll go with the rice first. Plain white rice, and this is definitely a gravy. It's very good. That's good, especially in the gravy. Can't go wrong with that. We also got 2 types of skewers, so I'll have half, and then you can have the other half. That's very good. This is the other one.
Chorizo.
This is the chorizo. Oh, this is so good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could easily eat 5 or 6 of those. Yeah.
That has no right being this good.
It's good, eh?
It just looks so unassuming. Like you're just like, okay, it's a skewer, whatever. It's really good.
And if you think that's good, the other one is easily 2 times better.
Chorizo.
How good is that?
That one, I think, wins. It's got like the slightest bit of a kick to it. And everything's just like charred perfectly. Ooh, it's got a little bit more of a kick than a little. Wow.
All right, time to eat.
I'm impressed, yeah. Let's finish the rest of this. So we're here at the Sugbo Mercado. It's a big basically outdoor food market. There's a big tent set up, lots of tables to sit at to eat. And then it's basically just like a big outdoor food court with tons of different vendors. It started pouring rain here around 5 o'clock p.m. So basically we went back to our hotel after we had lunch and had a nap for a couple of hours, tried to wait out the rain. It was still absolutely pouring when we got up. So we just went down to the lobby where we can get Wi-Fi and hung out for a little bit. And then finally decided, you know what, we're only here for one night. We're just gonna have to brave the rain. And luckily just shortly after we arrived, it's pretty much stopped raining now. It's just a little sprinkle. So I'm really glad that we came out. So I chose something called the Special Pork Barbecue from a place called Mario's Conci. And we've got a little buzzer thing. So we're just waiting for them to let us know that it's ready. I'm pretty excited. It just looked like some pork skewers and some rice. And yeah, I'm pretty starving. And it was only 88 pesos for the dish. So I'm curious to see the size of it. And that's basically just $2 Canadian. So we'll have to see. And Dave got something from a place called Jurassic Sizzlers. Some of the food that they have there is just like absolutely massive. What he got was a breaded pork belly, and it comes with rice, and I think there might be a sauce with it. And that cost around 149 pesos, so around $3.50 Canadian.
So I got pork belly and rice, and it comes with a gravy on it. The breading is really nice. It's thick, but it's not dry, obviously because of the gravy that's on it. It's just really good. Like, this is a really good meal. It reminds me almost exactly of like schnitzel and gravy.
So my buzzer finally went off, and Dave went and picked up my chicken skewers and rice. First impressions, it seemed like a pretty small dish, but again, it was also pretty inexpensive. So I feel like it's still a pretty good value. And yeah, gonna give it a go. That's really good. That's really tasty. It's got a really nice flavor. I don't know what the sauce is that's on it. It tastes kind of like a satay style of grilled pork. So I'm happy.
So I just went to a place called Lemon Co. I got myself just a classic lemonade, and I got Jess a secret lemonade.
Ooh, secret lemonade.
It's not that secret, but we'll see if she can figure it out. Let's see if she can get that straw in there first.
It broke.
Yeah, it did it? All right, use that hole. Perfect.
Is that watermelon lemonade?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You know me so well. I just love it. I love it. And this is so good. I love that I can really taste the watermelon, but it's still very much a lemonade. And it's not overly sweet. It's like a perfect amount of sweetness, still nice and tart. It was a good call.
And it was only 75 pesos.
So that's around, well, almost $2 Canadian, I think, but delicious.
Yeah. And I got the classic lemonade. And it was only 60 pesos, which is like $1.40. So good value. And it just tastes like lemonade, but it's really good. Because it's really cold, and it's 31 degrees right now.
Just arrived today?
Just today. And it's our first time in the Philippines.
Oh, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Good morning. It's our first full day in the Philippines, and this morning we're going to be taking a 3 to 4 hour bus ride from this city to the other side of the island to a city named Moalboal. It's just before 8 a.m., so first we're going to start off with some breakfast.
I got the bacon salad, which is, I could be wrong, this is my understanding. Salad is like rice and egg, and then whatever came with it. So I got bacon. It actually kind of looked like bacon. Awesome.
I got a pork salad, so it came with what looks like just a barbecued pork chop. So we just finished up our breakfast. It cost us just under $4 Canadian. And I mean, the portion size wasn't massive, but it's definitely going to hold us over until we get to Moalboal. So we've just finished packing up all of our bags, and we'll do a really quick room tour because we forgot to do one yesterday when we first arrived. So we've got a double bed, and it had pillows on it, and then just one sheet, which makes sense because it's very, very hot. And then we've got our own bathroom, which was really great. And the main thing I think was that we had an AC unit. Now it only worked when you were in your room because you had to put your card in the door, and they specifically ask you not to leave the card key in your room or leave anything running while you're gone. So we didn't do that. But it does cool down pretty quickly, so that's been really great.
And what time does it go?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay, yep.
So we've just boarded the bus to Moalboal. We luckily got the last two seats together. Not assigned seating, but just once we got on, we got the last two that were actually together, so that was nice. We went for the air-conditioned option. We were able to put our big bags down below. Pretty comfortable so far. It's actually quite cool in a good way on here. We did bring sweaters on board just in case it gets too cold because we've heard the AC can be pretty intense. So yeah, we're not sure exactly how long it's going to take to get there, but we're about to be on our way. And it cost 210 Philippine pesos per person, so $420 total, and that was about $5 Canadian per person. Good morning. It's our first morning here in Moalboal, and it's day one of our 4-day PADI open water diver program. So we're heading right now to go get some breakfast. It's just after 8. We only got the e-learning portion of our PADI course last night at like 5 p.m. and there's a lot to go through. So we both fell asleep partway through the section that we were doing for today. So we were up around 5 a.m. to complete the rest of it.
What are you learning about right now, Jess?
Right now I'm in the introduction to your skills as a diver. Next is how to defog your mask. There's so much information in this. I believe that when they say it's going to take like 18 hours to complete all of the e-learning.
Now we're just heading to go grab some breakfast before we head to the dive center. So again, today's the first day of 4. I know there'll be some intro things happening, but we're not really sure what to expect.
Yeah, not really.
We assume that we'll be in the pool at some point today in a bunch of gear, but yeah, it's going to be a surprise because we just really have no idea.
I'm just hoping to get in the water today because I've been showered in 3 days. And
Yeah,
I'm hoping
it's been a minute.
I'm hoping the water will clean me.
Good morning again. Yesterday we started our 3-day PADI course, and we just weren't able to film very much of the pool session when we were actually doing the learning because obviously we needed to be focusing on learning those skills. And the same is going to go for today. It's day 2 now, and we're doing our first shore dives. So we're going to be going out into the open water, but it is again more learning of skills, practicing skills, and yeah, we're just not able to bring our camera, and which makes sense. So we won't really have a ton of underwater footage until our last day, which is tomorrow, where we actually go and do 2 boat dives. And our instructor said that's the time where we can bring our underwater camera to get some cool shots. So we arrived at the dive center yesterday. We are diving with amigos, and we were about 15 minutes late, unfortunately, because we went for breakfast and it just took an incredibly long time to get the food. Yeah. I mean, the restaurant is great, and we actually went back again this morning. It's a bit on the more expensive side of like the options that we've eaten so far, but the place is just really nice and the food's really good, and they have a ton of gluten-free options. So the first couple hours of the morning yesterday was pretty much just getting our kit together, making sure everything fit, and then waiting for a ride to the Amigos pool because it's at a different location to start learning our confined water skills. So we had to try on a wide range of things, including like wetsuits, shoes, fins, the BCD, which is the whole entire vest that like actually inflates. I didn't realize the whole thing inflated. So that's pretty cool.
And then we learned to put it all together, like attach our tanks.
And our regulators.
Testing everything.
Cleaning our masks.
Yeah.
Like just all of the things, which felt initially, like when you're hearing and seeing all the equipment being handed to you, it seemed very overwhelming, but they really take time to like walk you through it all and show you how to do it. After we did it, it didn't feel that bad after all. Like,
no, I feel like I could do it solo right now.
Exactly. I feel good about it.
Looking forward to today, Jess?
I am looking forward to today. I'm not as nervous as I thought I would be. Like, I'm a little nervous because each day that we do is like one-upping the day before. So like, the first day was just the pool, and that was terrifying. But by the end of the day, it was fine. And then yesterday was the first time going into the ocean, but we just walked in off of the shore both times. And by the second dive, that felt perfect too. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm nervous, but I'm also pretty excited. Yeah, looking forward to it. How are you feeling about today, Dave?
Good, I think. Yesterday, I really struggled with my buoyancy. I didn't realize how much like breathing really mattered when it came to like up and down. So I'd find sometimes my dive computer would start going off saying I was ascending too quickly. So the second dive yesterday, much better. My breathing was very good, I think it was. So today, I think yesterday we did 13 meters. Today we're gonna do, I think, the max down to 18 meters.
Sorry, there's a spider on me.
Okay, it was just waving the camera a little bit.
Yeah.
Today I think we're going down to 18 meters and...
It's a boat dive.
And it's a boat dive. One thing, it'll be interesting to go down that deep. Second thing, I think it's gonna suck to try to get back on that boat again because you've got your weights, your suit, your tanks, your everything. You're probably weighing an extra like 50 or 60 pounds, maybe?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. So...
Especially now that we are starting to get a little bit of back pain.
Yeah, so grabbing onto that ladder and climbing out, especially if there's going to be some waves, we'll see. I'm sure it will work out. I'm in so much pain. It's heavy.
So we're just walking this gear to the boat and then we'll get to take it off for the boat ride. But yesterday we had to actually just walk right out into the ocean, and in the morning it's low tide, so it's quite the walk.
All right, Jess, how was that so far?
Not bad, not bad. I think the worst part is just having an extra weight on the belt in my back, so then the tank sits and just digs it right into my lower back. But besides that, it didn't feel as heavy as yesterday.
How are you liking everything so far? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say getting on the boat wasn't as nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, but thankfully it helped me.
Also got some back pain,
Back pain?
but it's totally fine. Really excited about that.
Regulator on.
That's a good idea.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
As we've mentioned throughout this video, we weren't able to show much from the first 2 days of the course. We did, however, get lots of footage from our 2 boat dives on day 3. So while we show you some of that, I'll explain in more detail the skills we learned and practiced on each of the 3 days, and then share some overall thoughts on the experience as a whole. For day 1, we were asked to finish the first of 5 sections of the e-learning. We arrived at Amigos around 9 a.m. and spent the first few hours trying on gear and learning how to put all of the pieces together. We then took a short trike ride to the pool to start our confined water sessions. We got suited up and into the pool. One of the first things we did was try out breathing through our regulators. This felt very strange to me for most of the first day and took some getting used to. While Dave was more apprehensive about starting the course, he took a liking to it much quicker than I did. We went through all the basic skills in the pool over the course of 3 to 4 hours. This included removing and letting go of our regulators underwater and using a sweeping arm motion to retrieve them, removing, replacing, and clearing our masks, mask removal for a full minute before replacing and clearing it, simulating no air scenarios, which involved taking turns removing our own regulators and using a buddy's yellow backup regulator, also known as an octopus. We also practiced removing and dropping our weights for an emergency ascent, inflating and deflating our BCDs, and removing and replacing our gear at the surface and underwater. For the most part, the skills were easy to learn as our instructor first explained and demonstrated them at the surface, then demonstrated them underwater before asking each of us to complete the skill. I struggled somewhat with the mask clearing, mainly due to inhaling water through my nose on my first attempt. This also contributed to me questioning whether diving was going to be for me. However, I'm really glad I persisted, as it definitely gets easier as you go, and by the end of the pool session, we both felt confident about heading into the ocean the next morning. That night, we were required to complete sections 2 and 3 of the PADI e-learning.
Okay, we're going to see 1, 2, 3. There we go. Whoa, very good.
Day 2 involved 2 shore dives where you put on your kit and walk directly into the ocean from the beach. We had prepared our gear the night before, so it was all ready for us when we arrived in the morning. Over the course of 2 dives, we practiced the skills we learned in the pool, like mask clearing, regulator recovery, and no air scenarios. We also worked on a few new skills like controlled emergency swimming ascents, also known as CISA, decompression safety stops, and trying to maintain neutral buoyancy. This last one is something both of us struggled a bit with, especially near the end of the dives when the tanks are lighter due to air consumption. Basically, you need to learn how to control your breathing as you rise when breathing in and descend when breathing out. Overall, these dives went well, and we were both excited to head out for our boat dives the next day. That evening, we were required to complete the final 2 sections of the PADI e-learning. On the final day of the course, we went out on 2 boat dives. While there were a few skills we had to demonstrate, these dives were mainly focused on enjoying the experience. Some final skills we did were using a compass to navigate underwater, full mask removal and clearing, deploying a surface marker buoy, entering the water from a boat, and the tired diver tow. For the rest of the time underwater, we just got to enjoy the reef and the incredible weightless feeling of being 18 meters under the surface. After completing the final e-learning exam and logging our 4 training dives, we were certified as open water divers. We received an email with our PADI e-card within 24 hours of completion. This was a truly incredible experience, and we already have plans to dive a whole lot more over the next 7 months and also possibly get our advanced diving certification when we're in Thailand. We couldn't recommend Amigos Dive Center and our instructor Marcus more. If you are thinking of taking a PADI course or just going for some fun dives when you're in Moalboal, you should definitely check them out. Today we're headed to Kawasan Falls, famous for its vibrant turquoise waters and lush jungle surroundings. We're joining a day tour from Moalboal to experience canyoneering, an epic adventure filled with cliff jumping, swimming, and exploring natural rock formations. So stick around as we dive into one of Cebu's most thrilling experiences. So we signed up for the tour yesterday at Amigos Dive Center, and it costs 1,200 pesos per person. This fee includes all of our gear, our lunch, and transportation to and from our hostel here in Moalboal. We got up a bit earlier this morning so that we'd have time to grab some breakfast before our 9 a.m. pickup time. We've eaten breakfast at this cafe most mornings so far, and this morning we're both having the bacon salog. It's a traditional Filipino breakfast, and it consists of fried egg, rice, and a protein of your choice. We bought our drinks from the convenience store next to the cafe because it's cheaper there. The 1.5 liters of water was 40 pesos, and Dave's Diet Coke was 55 pesos. Our breakfast cost around 615 pesos or $15 Canadian. And now that we've finished up breakfast, we're just heading back to our hostel to grab our stuff and wait for our pickup. We'll also be meeting up with some friends that we made at the open water patty course, Linda and Sebastian from Germany. So we booked the tour together, and we're all gonna get picked up at our hotel.
So from here, you will walk going to the first jump 30 to 45 minutes. But there's an option, the zip line.
Already.
All right, so I accidentally got roped into zip lining. Sebastian and Linda were putting their wrists out for a wristband that I didn't realize was just for zip lining. And so I put my wrist out and they put one on, and
Now we're zip lining.
now we're zip lining. And it's 700 pesos per person to do it. How are you guys feeling? Nervous? Nervous? How are you feeling?
Oh, nervous, for sure.
Your knees down here.
My knees in here? I certainly hope so. Is it too late? Are you feeling late? Oh God!
Thank you. That was fun.
That was so cool.
And it wasn't even scary.
No, it wasn't though. Oh my God. That was actually
It was good.
so freaking
It was
cool.
fun.
I felt like I was flying. I thought I was gonna get that like weird like drop in my stomach when we first started.
Nothing.
I didn't. That was exhilarating.
It was nice.
I
It
would
was
definitely
good. I'd do it again.
zip line
for
again.
sure,
That was
yeah.
so cool. My heart is pounding though, but
Now off to the water.
now we're actually gonna start our canyoneering experience.
vibe.
I think I like ziplining better. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
It's so scary. Oh my god, we're already at the next one that's supposed to be 7 meters. The first one was only 4. Big jumps down. How's it feeling so far?
I feel like every jump I do and I go into water, I feel like I come up looking and feeling like a drowned rat. Every time I surface, I'm just like, yeah, trying to clear all the water out.
Yeah.
The first time I didn't even plug my nose.
I know, I
I
needed
just
it
pulled a ton of water.
The jumps are terrifying.
The slides are more terrifying than the jumps because you never know where you go because you're like upside down.
Yeah.
Slides are by far the worst.
I think I take the slides over the jumping any day. How are you guys feeling about it so far?
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So beautiful, the nature. The jumps are cool.
Yeah? They're not scaring you at all?
They are, but they're also cool.
But they're also cool, okay.
How was it?
It was good. It was good. The first jump was pretty scary, and I got so much water up my nose. The second jump at 5 meters was probably the worst for me. But then the one we just did now, we both were like, no thanks to the 7 to 8 meter one. But the 5 meter one didn't feel as bad this time. And then 2 meters was like nothing. I would do that all day. And then this is just... tired diver. All right, Dave. Overall, what are your thoughts on
It was fun.
Kawasan Canyoneering?
It's definitely slightly dangerous. I've seen
A number
3
of
people get injured so far. One person enough where they have ice on it now and they're bypassing everything. One person we passed who was clutching their back. Yeah, so that's not great. But I mean, I think when you come to Asia, there's a certain level of danger. There's some risky crevices we crossed over that, yeah, you're going to want to have some pretty good mobility.
And bring your own shoes if you've got them, like with good grips. Because we've got our teens.
Yeah.
And
Closed toe.
it seems like the different tour companies have different shoes they provide. Ours provided Crocs. Some other ones have like actual water shoes. But yeah, not probably the greatest of grips. Yeah, overall. That's pretty fun.
It was pretty fun. The zip line, good
Oh
choice.
my god,
You
so good.
Yeah, just do the zip line.
Just do it. It feels expensive.
I had never done it
probably
before.
kinda is.
It was nice.
It was so good.
You're capsizing me, Jess.
I'm not trying to here.
With the
Oh, rock.
Oh, okay. You need to score. Jess is sinking me.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
So apparently we're wrong. And this is actually only the halfway mark. No, are we done? No, we're halfway.
Could be halfway to the 10-meter jump.
Oh, that's true too. My speed.
Not moving?
Yeah. So we're pretty much finished up now with the water activities. And now it's just a 15 to 20 minute walk back. And then at some point we'll be being fed lunch, which I'm extremely excited for. I know our friends are probably even more hungry than us because they didn't even eat breakfast this morning. I could not have done it without having eat a good breakfast. The lunch offered was pretty basic and on the light side, so we went out for dinner immediately upon returning to our hostel. Overall, we had a great time, and canyoneering is certainly an activity we would recommend when you're in Moalboal.
We are in Moalboal, a small town on the southwest side of Cebu Island in the Philippines, and tourists flock here for its two main attractions. The canyoneering through Kawasan Falls, which we did a few days ago, and it was totally worth the hype. And of course, to snorkel or dive the Sardine Run. This is a natural phenomenon where millions of sardines swim together in large schools, creating a giant bait ball. Moalboal is home to the second largest sardine run in the world. It's there year-round and it's super easy to get to. We decided to dive with the same company we did our open water course with, Amigos Dive Center. We went the day before our dive to get our kit together so we could save time the next morning. We wanted to try and get out to the sardines before it got super busy.
Good morning. This morning we're heading out on our first fun dive. Yeah, just our first recreational dive since being certified PADI scuba divers. And we're going to go and dive the Sardine Run. So it's called the bait ball. And basically all the sardines come together to try and keep safe from predators. But it creates this really cool effect that you can like swim through. We are just going to be doing a shore dive. So we're just going to walk in off of the beach and it's just right there, like a minute from our dive shop.
first fun dive?
First
It is, yeah.
Our 5th dive, I think. Not including pool.
Be careful.
How you feeling, Dave?
Can't wait to get in the water.
I know.
These rocks are brutal on the feet.
We can click on our feet here. Sure.
After spending 20 or so minutes swimming with the sardines, we moved to the wall to see what else we could discover. There were tons of starfish and these little pipefish. We also saw an octopus, which our guide said was pretty rare at this site. As it came time to turn the dive and head back to shallower depths, we got up close with the sardines one last time. We highly recommend diving the Sardine Run, but if snorkeling is more your thing, you can easily rent some gear by the beach and walk out to the sardines yourself.
My mask stayed clear the entire time.
Okay.
A little bit of soap, a little bit of spit.
You get it easier to take your pins off?
Maybe. I wish I could identify all the things that we saw underwater.
Yeah.
That was a puffer fish near the end. Right? I always feel like a wet animal coming out of the ocean.
Alright, so we just came up out of the ocean from our first fun dive. How was it, Dave?
It was good. I think, well, one of the things I was looking for was A, see the sardines.
Yeah.
B, figure out my weight.
Yeah.
So,
You ended up with 8 kilos?
8 kilos, so yeah.
Yeah.
We were under for 54 minutes.
We were under for 54?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we'd mostly dried off.
Kind of.
And just on our walk back now from the dive, it has started raining. Not pouring yet,
Not yet.
but I think it's going to happen. We went to go get some cash out to pay for our dives once we were finished. It's cheaper, at least at this dive center, to actually just pay the ATM fees than to pay a 5% like surcharge on a card payment. And we passed by a place called the Moalboal Coffee Hub, and their coffee was
Good.
very good and it's
half the price.
yeah, the place that we've been getting coffee at. I mean, granted, we're sitting down and it's a cafe and there's AC and all that. But it's been like $150, and it cost $200, and it cost 200 pesos for both of our iced coffees. And mine was a mocha and had oat milk in it, which was extra charged. So.
Today we are heading to Bohol, and more specifically the small island to the south of it called Panglao. So first we're going to check out of our hotel here in Moalboal. We've been staying at Babu Backpackers Inn for the past 10 days. In Moalboal we've been doing lots of activities. We did our open water diving course, we did the Kawasan Canyoneering, lots of fun stuff, but unfortunately our time here is done. It's a big travel day. We've just packed up all of our stuff. We're going to go check out and get a trike to head to the bus station.
Oh, that's bright. I'll be there. What about our big bags? This one's so much quieter than our last one. However, this one's a bit shorter. A little bit.
How's this going so far?
I'm really pumped that we got this for $150. I'm gonna say it really quietly. Just so he doesn't hear me. We paid $250 to get here, $150 to get out. Okay.
I don't know how long it takes. 10 minutes?
I think it was 10 minutes. I mean, we passed two girls that were walking it, so it's only about a 30-minute walk. Yeah. And here we go. $100. Do you have change? 50? So we just took a trike to the bus station, and now from the bus station, we're gonna try to find a bus to Cebu City. All right, so in order to get to this location from Cebu City, you end up paying at a bus station, the South Bus Terminal, and we paid, I believe it was 120 pesos per person. When you go in the reverse way and you're coming from Moalboal back to Cebu City, you just show up at a bus stop. It's just right behind my shoulder here. You just show up, wait. I think a bus comes every 30 minutes. It's going to alternate between air-conditioned and non-air conditioned. I'd suggest always go for air conditioning, mainly because it's before 9 in the morning and it's already 29 degrees. YOLO. Your mic's off.
So we can confirm it was 210 pesos per person to get back to Cebu City. So it was the exact same cost as it was to get here 10 days ago.
It was indeed.
Because you actually pay on the bus, it's very important that you bring cash because he's not going to take a card payment, obviously. It seems like he does have change, but it's a good idea to try and get as close to the amount as possible.
All right, so we've just got off the bus from Moalboal. We're now in Cebu City. We're at the South Bus Terminal, and we've just ordered a Grab. We met up with 2 other people from the UK, and we're going to share a Grab down to Pier 1, which is where we should be able to catch our boat over to Bohol. In total, it would have cost us about 170 pesos, but we're going to share the cost, so it's only going to cost us about 100 pesos total. To Tagbilaran?
Yes, sir. That's Bohol, Tagbilaran.
Okay, perfect. Two. Thank you. Gate 7? Perfect, thank you.
Now I'm happy. So it's 800 pesos per person to grab this ferry from Cebu City to one of the ports in Bohol. It was scheduled to leave at 2 o'clock, and it's 10 after 2 right now, and we're just getting on board. I mean, we're not in a rush, so it's no big deal. And also, after you've paid for your ticket and you're entering the terminal, you have to pay a 25 peso terminal fee.
You can see our bags over there getting loaded on. There's my bag and Jess's bag.
We are 21F and 21G. Portable pharmacy? I think it's these ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll grab one.
Hit me with one.
Welcome back to Ocean Child 588. We would like to thank you for sharing your day with us.
How was that, Dave?
Not too bad. Water was pretty good, not too choppy. We did take some gravel right before getting on, so I'm really happy that we did that.
Yeah, I can't tell if it was just the motion of the boat or the gravel or both that made me so sleepy. But I feel so drowsy and tired now.
Same. And it was a really tight area too. Like the seats were really small and they didn't fluctuate at all.
So there's multiple options to get from the ferry port into Panglao. You can be accosted by a bunch of taxis and shared vans as soon as you come out of the ferry, or you can just order a Grab, which is what we did. It was cheaper and just us. so we know we're just going directly there. So we're tired and hungry, so we just don't feel like having to wait. Or you can also do a tricycle hire. I'm not sure how much it is, but they have a stand that's just right across the street from the port. So we tried to get a Grab.
We tried to get a Grab.
It was quoting around 430 pesos, but it just never connected, and we're impatient. It may have if we had given it longer than, I don't know, was that maybe
5 minutes?
5 minutes. But the trikes here, at least at the ferry port, were a lot bigger than the ones that we were taking in Moalboal. So
I was apprehensive at first. I wasn't sure if we'd get all our bags in here.
and us, but like,
There's like a little bit of a trunk back here.
yeah, and Dave's head fits
Actually
with room
fits.
to spare, and we're paying 400 pesos.
400.
So slightly less than the Grab, but I mean also the convenience of it being right here, right now. And just us, and we're on our way, and I also find them very fun. So
Yeah, they are a bit more fun than just a taxi.
yeah, the boat ride was pretty good overall. Dave already mentioned that the water was pretty flat, I guess. Wasn't too crazy.
Yeah.
You could feel a little bit of waves, and it went really fast.
Yeah.
It was took a much faster clip than I was expecting it to.
Also, it was kind of nice that we have eSIMs in the country. It was kind of spotty there for a bit in the middle, but we had cell phone coverage the entire time. Yeah, it was not too bad. AC was pretty cold. I think the temperature on my backpack said it was at 16 degrees.
It got pretty chilly. I was glad I had my white button-up shirt in my bag that I was able to put on, and then Dave actually had his fleece sweater in his bag, which I then used as a blanket. So
Yeah, especially if it's been 30, 35 degrees every day. 16 degrees inside is cold. You want to bring a sweater. Should be right around here. Yep, right here. Perfect. Perfect, thank you.
thank you. And truth. Oh, it's cute.
Ooh, nice. We got our own beds.
Is it automatically locked?
I don't know. Perfect.
I kind of sounded locked.
So we finally made it to our new hotel. And yeah, it took us 8.5 hours to get from our hotel in Moalboal to our hotel in Bohol, more specifically Panglao. Yeah, it was a busy day, a long day. I feel like we really didn't do much because I guess all we were doing really was sitting and falling asleep and playing on our phones, but I'm exhausted. I think part of it's from the gravel we took when we got on the boat, but I could go to sleep right now. It's 20 after 6. And yeah, we left at just after 9 a.m. this morning. So yeah, long journey, but it was pretty straightforward. It went really well. There was no issues. I'm happy. And now we're going to enjoy some dinner. We were way too lazy to go out, so we had it delivered. So this morning we're at a cafe called Overgrowth Cafe, and it is beautiful in here. First of all, I got a mango banana smoothie bowl and a latte, and Dave got a classic grilled cheese sandwich and this amazing looking lemonade. We got 2 bikes dropped off yesterday at our hotel, so yesterday we spent some time getting used to them again, because today we're actually driving onto the main island of Bohol. It's about an hour and a half to get to the Chocolate Hills, and then we're also going to be stopping to see the Tarsier sanctuary and the man-made forest on the way there.
Just a quick little pit stop for some sunscreen. It's only 9 a.m., but already starting to feel the burn.
All right, Jess, how was that?
It was good. I think the GPS had said it was going to take us about 45 minutes, and I want to say it probably took us closer to an hour. But I mean, we did stop once for a stretch quickly. There was one part where it got a little bit like narrow, and then there's just dogs everywhere, but yeah, for the most part that felt fine. We're supposed to whisper.
It was a good drive.
It was beautiful. And what a beautiful day for it. Like hardly a cloud in the sky. It's our first Tarsier sighting. So, we just finished up at the Tarsier Sanctuary.
It was really good.
It was really good. I've seen some mixed reviews online. There's 2 sanctuaries. This one's actually like the registered sanctuary. There's another one that's closer to the Chocolate Hills that I guess isn't considered an actual sanctuary, but it tends to be more heavily visited because it's along the drive to the Chocolate Hills. So a lot of tourists stop there. But yeah, I've seen a few still mixed reviews on this one about, people being loud and it being too short and things like that, but
It was enough.
I think it was perfect.
We were there for we were probably here for no more than 20 minutes. You watch like a quick 5-minute video, and then from there you do a little quick tour, probably maximum 10 minutes. We saw 3 Tarsiers and 4. I heard people complaining, saying like, oh, they're all at head level, like that's super suspicious. I don't know. There was one that was well placed for us to get photos of. Everything else was like hidden in the trees. So I mean, I think you kind of just, wherever they go to bed in the morning is wherever you see them.
And I think the important thing too is that they only have a very small area where you can actually go walk in and see them. And I do get like there's a kind of a balance between protecting them, which they have this huge hectares and hectares of area that
150 hectares
that is just undisturbed, but they're trying to promote conservation, and unfortunately you typically have to have.
If you couldn't see a Tarsier, then no one will give any money, unfortunately.
They are so freaking cute.
They're like the size of a large lemon.
They're like my fist.
Yeah. You think
like
they're
this big,
like the size of a football? No.
Especially from the video we watched,
Yeah.
that made them look like they were maybe like capuchin monkey size.
Yeah.
But they're like super, super tiny with just the biggest eyes. Oh, they were so cool. And yeah, it cost what, 150 pesos per person?
Per person, yeah.
To do it, and I think it was
Good value.
worth every peso. And the guide was good, and people were pretty respectful. There was a little bit of
Tree shaking.
there was one woman that was trying to balance to come out, and she was kind of shaking the tree a little bit. Don't do that. But people were whispering.
I think this
and
could
pretty
have
quiet.
Yeah, I think it went as well as it could go.
Yeah, I think it was good. They're so cute. So yeah, definitely recommend. Oh, so good. So we just drove another 45 minutes or so from the Tarsier Sanctuary, and we've just arrived at the man-made forest. So we just pulled over at the first stop where we saw a ton of other people pulled over. And everyone's just taking photos. Some are being a little bit more reckless than others, I'd say. There's been a number of people that are just start sitting or like lying in the middle of the road, and it's right around a pretty sharp curve. Watched one girl almost get hit, and her friend was just like, oh no, just stay there. Crazy. Dave's gonna try and fly his drone. How's it looking, Dave?
A lot of branches.
A lot of branches. arrived at the Chocolate Hills.
We have indeed.
They're not very chocolatey right now. I think it's because we just came out of the rainy season.
Grass is usually dead, but the vegetation is dead, so it turns brown. Hence the chocolate. Right now it's
Raining a lot. Frequently. So
green hills.
yeah, interesting structures.
Yeah, it's
Like-
a lot more hilly than I expected.
Yeah, there's like a lot of them.
And it's not very subtle. It's like,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Do you know what causes that?
no, I don't.
We'll have to look that up.
Look that up.
How long did it take us to get here from man-made forest?
It said 30 minutes. Probably takes about 40, 45. I'm pretty certain that we're driving 20% slower than the speed limit is. The whole drive today was supposed to take us, I think, about 2 hours, let's say, start to finish. And I think it's taken us 3.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Basically, I think this is pretty much our last stop of the day.
It is.
I think, and then we're definitely gonna have to grab some food. So parking was free down in the like tourist parking lot. You can't just drive your bike up to the top of the hill. They're doing like a shuttle thing only. So it's included in your entrance fee, and so it was 100 pesos per person, so 200 for the both of us. And yeah, that includes the return journey in a very packed van. But gotta say, I wasn't anticipating climbing one of them. But I guess that's what you gotta do for the best views. So we just finished at the Chocolate Hills, hopped back on the bikes, and now we're heading back to our hotel. But we're going to be passing back through the man-made forest, and at some point on the way back, we're going to stop for some food and something to drink. Now it's just time to get going.
Let's get going. We're not choosing Sprite.
We're choosing Sprite. They're fancy glasses. You have to cheers. Cheers me. So we rode maybe 10 minutes and then Dave spotted this restaurant. It's called Two Mamas Grill and Restaurant, I think. So we got sweet and sour pork with rice and barbecue pork with rice. They didn't have any smaller bottles of like pop or Nestea or anything like that. So we went with 1.5 liters.
Oh, they had a small bottle.
They had like the little teeny tiny bottles for like 20 pesos, but they're like
a little bit bigger than
but
that.
they're like this big. So we just went for the 1.5 liter, even though I don't really drink that much pop, but it's a hot day. I'm sure we'll get through it.
It's good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
My food came a bit later than Dave's did, so I just started already scarfing it down. Partially from hunger and partially because we want to get going. But I got the barbecue pork. It's pretty good.
So we finished up eating our lunch around 3:30 and then started the long, well, I felt like it was a long drive back to our hotel. It took us about 2 hours after leaving the restaurant to get back, and that included 2 or 3 stops for like a minute or 2 at a time just to stretch our legs. We're clearly not used to driving that long on a bike. So as we were driving too, we were noticing some clouds rolling in, so we were really trying to make some time to get back in case it started pouring rain. Because today is the first time, I think, since we've been in the Philippines that we haven't seen a torrential downpour at some point during the day. We took a different route back than what we had taken to get to all of the sites today. It was a bit quicker than to kind of going out of our way to go to the Tarsier sanctuary. And then, yeah, crossed back over onto Panglao and made it back to our hotel, and it was still light out, so that was a win. And overall, it was a pretty good day. It was a long day, but we got to see some pretty cool things. And now we're finishing up the day with spending a little bit more on dinner than we have been. We're at a place called Thai Lang. I'm just craving Thai food again ever since we left Moalboal, and I haven't had pad Thai in a while. So I got some chicken pad Thai. Dave got a stir-fried chicken with basil and some steamed rice, and then we got an order of fried spring rolls, and they're rice paper, so I can eat them. So I'm very excited about that.
It smells good. That's pretty good.
That's good. Do you want to describe it? It has pork and noodles in it.
I'm so hungry. I could have literally shoes in it. And
That is some really good pad thai. I accidentally mixed a lot of the spice in.
4 times.
About 4 times. But it's very good.
Today we are exploring Panglao, a small island southwest of Bohol known for its incredible white sand beaches. After visiting the famous Alona Beach, we'll be renting motorbikes to explore sites further from the main town, including Doljo Beach, Napaling Reef, and a cave with a swimming hole. After a busy day, we'll cap it all off spending time with some adorable feline friends.
So when we first walked down onto Alona Beach, kind of from the main entranceway, I would say, from the road, it looked not too bad. Like, it's definitely a white sandy beach. It looks really nice. The water actually looks good. Looks like you could actually walk out a little bit and it'd just be sand and not like really rocky. It is high tide right now, or higher tide at least. It does tend to have like less good reviews when people come during low tide. So we saw more stuff happening further down the beach, so we took a walk down and we actually came across a resort, and we weren't sure at first because it looks like it's segmented. Like, the water area looks segmented. There's like a line of buoys that go down the middle, and we thought maybe that made that part of the beach private, but it looks like it's actually just the lounge chair area that's private. The beach is still free to use. I'm assuming they just can't co-opt an entire section of the beach and water. And Dave went over to check out what the prices were like. So it's 1,500 pesos per person to have access to their pool, a full buffet lunch, and then you also get your own lounge chair on that segmented area, and then you can have that for the entire day. So we just came down to check out the beach after having breakfast nearby. I don't know if we're going to swim at this beach today, and we're definitely not going to pay to have day use for the lounge chairs, but it is a pretty nice beach if you're just looking for somewhere close to where most tourists tend to stay on Panglao. It definitely looks like a great place to swim. It's just after 11 a.m. on Sunday, and I mean, I wouldn't necessarily classify this as busy. There's certainly people hanging out on the beach and in the water, but yeah, it doesn't seem overly crowded. So as of mid-January 2025, there is also some construction going on the beach, so you will want to move down either left or right, at least a little ways down, so that it muffles out some of the noise. So there's obviously a ton of places along the beach that you can stop and grab something to eat or drink, but there's also just like a little sandwich spot and some ice cream spots right off of the main entrance road area. And Dave's actually just gone into the convenience store right nearby the beach to see what the price is for water. How much was it, Dave?
35 pesos.
For how much water?
1.5 liters.
Nice.
What was that, under $1?
I think so, yeah. That's probably one of the best prices we've seen.
Oh my god, I have so much sunscreen on my hand I can't open it.
We're just heading back to our hotel now, and then we're gonna grab our bikes and head out to do some more exploring. On our way back just now, we stopped for Dave's second coffee of the day. I think it's more for the fact that it's cold and moderately cheap. We stopped at a place called Coffee Postal. Cute little coffee stand. And yeah, they have pretty inexpensive coffee. Your large iced latte was what?
119 pesos.
Yeah, so really not bad. So we just drove about 20 minutes from our hotel to Dojo Beach.
Yep, I think so.
Dojo Beach, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Currently, where we've just entered the beach is very quiet. There's really no one else here. Now, the weather also did turn a bit while we were driving. Yeah. So we're just going to walk down along the beach here. It looks like it's a little busier in the distance. We entered this beach right near the strip mall that's here. And there was a place where you could do free parking, I assume, so that you could go to the mall. But we just walked on through right to the beach. So first impressions of this beach is, obviously I already mentioned that it seems more secluded. There's a lot more seaweed and a bit of garbage.
All right, when it comes to this beach compared to Alona Beach, there's definitely some pros and some cons. With Alona Beach, it's very developed. There's a lot of businesses along the shore. And then because of that, I think they do a very good job of keeping the sand pristine. Very nice, a lot of people. One of the downsides of that though, is that when you're there, you will be approached by a lot of people. So there's gonna be a lot of people trying to sell you tours, pearls, souvenirs, lots of stuff like that. Now, when you come to this beach here, there's none of that. There's no one trying to sell you anything. However, the beach here, at least where the mall is, it's not very well kept. I do think though that if you're kind of just looking for a nice chill place to come, this beach is really kind of nice. I think it's definitely worth coming to. And personally, from what I'm looking for when it comes to a beach, I really like this one. I like it more than Alona Beach. I felt Alona Beach was just too commercialized at this point. And I mean, here I can count 6 other people that are tourists here, I think. But I mean, we've already been here only about 5 minutes and I can already see blue skies coming out. So I have no doubt that if we just kind of camped out here for the next 20, 30 minutes, we'd probably be bright and sunny and it'd be a nice place to stay.
So you may notice that I'm wearing jeans on the beach. Not normally something I would do, but because we're riding our bikes around the island today, we're both wearing, well, our riding pants. We wear jeans when we ride our bikes. We've got the riding jackets with some armor in them, helmets, that kind of thing. We just like to be fully covered and protected as much as we can be. You definitely see a lot of people riding around in just their like bikinis and shorts and tank tops, and all the power to them, but I just picture the road rash if I fall off. So we're just doing our best here. And yeah, if I was going for a swim, I'd obviously lose the pants. We've got shorts and stuff with us too, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna go swimming here today, but we just wanted to come and check it out. So it's a bit of a far walk down to the other end of the beach. So instead we're gonna launch Dave's drone and see if we can check it out from here. So where we parked is right next to an actual little strip mall. Doesn't seem like there's a lot here. There looks like there's a few like souvenir stores, there's a shoe store, and then a couple of different restaurants that you could eat at. But it does look and kind of feels like a nice open space to stop if you've been hanging out at the beach. There's also some free washrooms to use right next door too, so it's also pretty convenient.
And most importantly, free parking.
Free parking. So we just stopped in at Napling Reef where you can actually go snorkeling, and they have a sardine ball that's just right there up by the shore. Anything you see that's really dark down there is part of the sardine ball. That's actually really cool. Now, it obviously costs some money to do it. There was a couple of different fees. You had like the 100 peso entrance fee, and then there was a guide fee of 100 pesos as well. And it was mandatory, you had to go with a guide. And then if you obviously didn't have your own snorkel, masks, fins, life jackets, they had all of those things that you could rent too. And I have seen some mixed reviews online about whether it's worth it and all that. And I honestly would have, but we're trying to make it to the cave as well today, and it closes in less than an hour. So we really just took a few minutes to fly the drone, get some video, get the prices, just to kind of see. Maybe if we have some time, we'll come back, but it looked pretty incredible. And the people were so nice. The security guy that we asked if we could fly the drone was super sweet. And then all of the snorkel guides were just very interested in Dave's drone. And so even though we didn't actually snorkel, I think I would recommend it because it looked like it was a good time. Like the sardines were right there and it wasn't super deep. So I feel like you would actually really get some good views of them.
Two entrance fees. No swimming. Thank you.
inside the caves.
It is smaller than I expected. Actually, I really don't even know what I expected.
Same.
I had read online that it can get really busy in here. I saw something up there saying there's a maximum of 50 people. I think there's more than 50 people in here.
I would definitely say there's more than 50 people in here.
I've heard there's some bats that could be in here, but from looking around, I don't see any bats. I've heard there could be a bad smell in here. I don't smell anything bad in here.
There's stuff dripping from the ceiling. I assume it's water, but I'm concerned it's bat pee. I don't think that's what it is.
Probably just water.
Oh, just water.
It is very humid down here, though. I would suggest probably come maybe early in the morning, maybe be a bit less busy.
And I'm going to say, I don't think it's worth coming in here if you're not planning on swimming. It's
Correct.
really nothing special. I mean, it's okay. It's neat, but, and I mean, it was only...
We came in just to watch, like to walk around, which is not a lot of walking around. That was 100 pesos for 2 people.
Yeah, so 50 pesos each just to come and take a look, but really you probably only need a couple of minutes in here in order to get a photo and whatever.
And we drove our own motorbike here, and we've been told that for parking it's going to be 15 pesos per bike. We tried to pay for it initially where we would get the tickets. They said someone will find us when we go to leave.
I feel like we may as well have gone swimming with how wet I am right now.
I am sweating.
Like profusely.
I wonder if it even shows up in here.
Probably.
It's
I'm like
running down my face.
glistening. There's maybe like 10, 15 people that look like they're actually swimming. I think I just saw a bat.
Next model.
Oh, I just saw another one. Yeah, there's definitely bats in here. Any other thoughts on the cave, Dave?
If you want to go swimming, maybe it's worth it. If you don't want to go swimming, skip it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an extra 75 pesos to swim, so it'd be 125 per person. If you're gonna swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Get
right.
out of here. I'm boiling.
Checking out.
It kind of feels like you're just climbing a ladder. It's cooler up here. It's looking like it's gonna rain again. It's been on and off cloudy and sunny all day. These look pretty dark.
We've been dodging rain all day today, and we're 6 minutes away from our lunch spot, and we're so close. So close. And then it just started raining, and I'm kind of hoping that it will ease up soon. It's not very hard right now, but at any moment it can just like downpour. This little random mini mart on the side of the road with a tiny little overhang roof. So we just kind of pulled up real tight under it, and where we're gonna hide out from the rain. It doesn't get any worse the next couple minutes. I'd say we can probably just try.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not raining that hard. We probably would have just kept riding through it, but I've got all of the camera gear in my pouch that I'm wearing, and I just didn't want it to get wet if it started pouring rain. So probably to give it another minute or so. It already seems like it's lightening up. I'm starving. I'm so ready to eat lunch, and the cafe Dave found looks good. So I'm hoping that it is good.
So it's chicken katsu. We got some chicken, we got some cabbage, rice, and there is a yellow curry on this as well. If I could ever scoop that in post, I'll make it scooped. It's very good.
So I got a beef dish, and I'm not going to try and pronounce what the name of it is, but it looks like it's got like a gravy or something on it. It looks really good. And then there's some corn and some beans, and then there's lots of rice underneath too. It looks really good, and it looks really hot. Oh my gosh. Not to be dramatic, but I think this might be my favorite thing I've eaten so far on this trip. That's insanely good. There's got onions and peppers all in there with the beef. And yeah, I want to say it's like some kind of like gravy. Incredible. And I don't think it was that bad of a price either. Yours was $3.20, mine was $3.50. So not bad for the amount of food, and it is actually incredible. Highly recommend this restaurant. I'm pretty darn excited for where we've just arrived.
I'm hoping it's everything I dreamed it would be and more. So we're at the cat cafe. I was missing kitty snuggles. So we came to attempt to make some of these guys love us. They're all very sleepy right now
Yeah.
and kind of doing their own thing, but they're still so cute.
It was a nice cut though.
Yeah, for sure. Especially this one ragdoll cat. She's been so playful. But we unfortunately can't stay too long because the sun's going to start going down and we still have to ride back to our hotel. We can just sleep here tonight. Good morning. Yesterday we had such a big lunch that we didn't even end up eating dinner. We drove right back from the cat cafe because the sun was going down. It was getting pretty dark, but then also we were wearing our sunglasses and obviously that was making it a lot darker. And why wouldn't you just take them off? Well, I was constantly being hit in the face with bugs and dirt and rocks.
Yeah.
So we just didn't want to not have eye protection on, and neither of our masks really covered our face. Well, mine didn't at all, and yours
Mine did.
did? Oh. So just hung out for a little bit and went to sleep.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was a really good day though. It's been a really good 2 days of exploring the island. I mean, we did get the bikes for 3 days, and the first day was just driving around and get comfortable.
Getting comfortable, yeah.
Mostly me getting comfortable. Did that full day driving all the way out to the Chocolate Hills.
Good for like 8 hours.
Yeah, it was a long day. Yeah, yesterday felt just more chill. We started later in the day, just kind of went around, saw the beaches, the reef. Yeah.
It was nice.
It's been a good 2 days.
Definitely suggest getting a bike.
Yes. Now we're just waiting for them to come and pick up our bikes this morning. That was actually a really great thing, is they dropped them off and they're coming to pick them up, so we don't have to figure out transportation. And I think they might be arriving now. So we're going to go meet them and give them back our bikes.
Siquijor is a Philippine island province located southwest of the island of Bohol, where we just spent the past few days visiting sites like the Tarsier Sanctuary and the Chocolate Hills. Siquijor is known for its pristine beaches, vibrant blue waterfalls, and coral reefs abundant with life. In this video, we will be exploring it all.
Good morning. It's our last morning here in Panglao, and we just checked out of our hotel and we're heading to go grab some breakfast before heading to the ferry terminal, because this morning we're heading to Siquijor.
Siquijor. I booked it with Ocean Jet, and I think it was about 800 pesos.
880.
880 per person. So we got the 320 boat to Siquijor, and it started raining a little while ago, so it's been delayed for about another hour. So now it's 4:06 now, and we're just waiting for the boat to come.
So it's 20 after 4 now. The boat was supposed to leave at 3:20. We're just boarding it. And they think it's going to take about 30 minutes to get everybody on board. So we're hoping we're going to be leaving here before 5 p.m. But it's still 2 hours, and we're probably going to be arriving in the dark to Siquijor. But silver lining, at least we'll be able to go right to our hotel and check in. I guess another great thing about delays is that it means the gravel has fully kicked in. And I know that because it makes me incredibly sleepy. Probably gonna have a nap for 2 hours on this boat ride. So just like on the boat ride from Cebu to Bohol, we also have assigned seating. So I think we're seats 15F and G. So we'll see where that is on the boat. Terminal actually wasn't too bad of a place to hang out for a couple of hours. There was AC, and then there was lots of little food stalls. So we grabbed some fries and pretty decent Wi-Fi actually. So, you know, places to get stuck while waiting, it really wasn't that bad. So it's our first morning here in Siquijor. We're just going to have some breakfast before, I think, heading to the marine sanctuary that's right across the way.
So I got the American breakfast, which comes with eggs, bacon, and toast. Initially, when we first got to the Philippines, I was getting a lot of bacon salads. And I don't know, I'm kind of at the point now where we're almost a month in, and I could really go with less rice. So, yeah. It looks good.
I got the mixed berry smoothie bowl. It's just got mixed berries, and then on top it's got bananas, mangoes, pineapple, and some granola, and a few pieces of dried fruit that I'm going to pick off. I wasn't kidding. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm happy. So we're just arriving at the marine sanctuary, and we just parked our bikes up at the top of a very small hill. And now we're just walking down to the beach. We just ran into some people that were leaving, and they said that it was great snorkeling, and that they were charged $100 to enter the beach and then $100 to snorkel, or I guess to rent snorkel gear. So we're gonna see. It does look like you could ride your bike down here if you wanted to, but I don't think I'd want to try that hill. So just some final thoughts on the restaurant we just ate at. The food was not bad. The coffee I got was a mocha, and it honestly wasn't very good. I think it was just like Nesquik powder or something that they put in it, but Dave said his latte was pretty good. And our total came to 820 pesos, around $20 Canadian for our breakfast. Probably got mask marks all over my face, but oh my God, that was incredible. I mean, I haven't snorkeled in many places, I guess, but this is the best snorkeling I've ever experienced. I got to swim with a green sea turtle. What? Oh my God, it was incredible. It was like 2 feet in front of me, and I was swimming right along behind him. I definitely recommend having fins though when you come here, because at least I personally struggle to get down underwater without them. Wow, 10 out of 10. Definitely worth the 200 pesos for the entrance and
the snorkel mask. Oh my gosh, I better go in now though, because I think I've been out here for probably at least 40 minutes. I told Dave, yeah, maybe I'll just go out for a little bit. He's been flying his drone on the beach. I'm gonna head back in and see if I can convince him to come out with me another day. So many fish. So many different kinds of fish. I mean, the green sea turtle was definitely a highlight, but there's also this really cool sea snake, and just, I'm gonna keep saying it, wow. Just wow.
So you can kind of see Dave behind me. He's actually just getting some pesos back because you're only supposed to pay if you're actually swimming or snorkeling. So it was $200 for me to snorkel and to get the gear. But Dave was just sitting on the beach, so he shouldn't have to pay anything. But they had charged him 100 pesos, so I think he'll get it back to him, which is nice. So definitely recommending this beach and marine sanctuary area. If you want some really good snorkeling, you're going to need to swim pretty far out to where it actually drops off into a wall. There's definitely lots of fish shallower too, but I think that's where you're going to see like the sea turtles and some of the bigger fish. And we're all finished up here now, and we're just going to head back to the bikes and see where we end up next.
And I accidentally paid too much, so I just told them about that. They gave me 100 pesos back.
Yeah, so it was really nice.
So
Wasn't expecting that, especially some of the reviews saying that people
pushy.
really unhappy about being charged and being really pushy, but
Good stuff.
yeah, really good, really happy. So we've just arrived at our first falls here in Siquijor, and we just parked our bikes up at the top, and we just had to pay a 20 peso per person environmental fee, and now we're just hiking down. It's a bit of a treacherous path, very rocky, very steep. We asked the people at the top who were just coming up how long the walk is, and they said about 3 minutes, so I feel like I can already hear it. So we just got to the falls. It was only about a 10-minute drive from the beach that we were just at. And it's just after 1:30 p.m. right now. So I was expecting it to be pretty busy. I don't know what busy normally looks like, but there's only about 10 other people here. So it's pretty good. Now I'm gonna go down and see how cold the water is. So I've just dipped my feet in so far. And the water's pretty cold. I can feel the fish nibbling on my toes.
How'd it go?
It was really nice. It was really good. The stairs down there weren't slippery, which was great. I kind of thought that they might be. And then everyone was just leaving their shoes around this little rock bench type thing. The water was kind of cool, pretty cool actually, but you got used to it. It was really refreshing. And right when I first got down there, I put my feet in to like test the water and get used to it first. And then immediately my toes started getting nibbled by these like tiny little fish. And then there was one slightly bigger tiny fish. It just tickled. It was funny, but I was not anticipating that. It's a pretty large pool down there, and I'm assuming it's pretty deep, mainly because someone's been swinging off a rope swing and jumping off from the top of the falls. There's been some other people just kind of like rock scrambling against the waterfall and then jumping in from there. I did not partake. I was thinking about it. But I honestly just really enjoyed the refreshing water and floating around, and yeah, it was really nice. The falls are pretty strong. Like I went under to try and like feel it, and it's definitely strong coming down. Yeah, it was really nice.
So after we finished up at the waterfall this morning, we ended up going back to our rooms. Dave's feeling a bit under the weather. So we just kind of hung out, tried to stay cool until basically it's dinner time. So we've come back out, and we actually came to the same place again that we went to last night, partially because nobody felt like making a decision about where else to go, and it just felt nice and easy. The food was really, really good yesterday. I got the same thing, so I'm pretty excited. And Dave's drink just arrived, and it's something that we've never had before.
I got the calamansi, so the little tiny limes. They can either come hot or cold. Kind of surprising, I didn't know it could come hot. And then they brought me a little container, a little dish of sugar. It's like liquid
syrup,
sugar.
yeah.
It's like a syrup. And then you can sweeten it. I'm just gonna have it plain initially. And then we'll see if we can make it sweeter. But I probably will like it without the added sweetness. Oh, oh. That's a lime. That's like a straight lime. I'm gonna sweeten the out of this.
You're going to?
Oh my god, yeah. It's so tart and so sour. It's like someone just juiced a lime in my mouth. Very nice. But my god, do I need some sugar in this.
Can I try a sip before you sweeten it?
Yeah.
Oh, that just smells like a lime. Oh, yeah, that's gonna require some sweetening.
I was like, there's gonna be some natural sweetness there.
That's what I was expecting. I mean, good, but I don't think I could drink it like that. It's kind of bitter.
Okay, well, thank you.
Ooh, that looks so good.
Get some sweetness in here. Okay, take a little hoot of that and see.
Ooh, that's better.
Really cuts through, eh?
It does.
All right,
Ooh, that's yummy.
100%.
So we just arrived down at these falls and it's pretty busy. It's noon, so it makes sense. I'm going to say if you come earlier in the day, probably for open, I'm not sure what time that is, but probably around like 8 or 9 a.m., it would definitely be much less busy and you'd have more of the place to yourself. We just got a later start on our day today. Dave's been sick the past day and a half or so we just really wanted to take our time. I don't know if I'm going to go in the water right now. We just ate, not super feeling it. We have another falls that we're going to right after this, so maybe I'll get in the water at that one. So what I didn't initially realize is that the falls actually goes much further back. So that really busy part was actually just the bottom of the falls. You can come up another level and it looks like it's much less busy. Mostly people are just kind of chilling in the water, hanging out. Definitely a much calmer vibe. And then I'm going to check out, it looks like there's still one more level up. All right, so with how many levels there are, different areas to swim, different swings available, different rafts, I could definitely see how someone could spend most of an afternoon here. The upper part of the falls, I'd say, I guess like the third level, seems like it's a bit more busy again, but still not as busy as that first level of the falls. I definitely say the more like relaxed, people just kind of sitting in the water, relaxing in the water, is definitely the second level where there aren't any swings or rafts or anything like that. When you're finished at the falls and you come back up to the top, you've got like a little ice cream set up where they're scooping cones, and it's 30 pesos and it looks like a pretty decent sized scoop, and they look like waffle cones. So a bit of a change of plans. Dave's still not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
It's very hot right now. So we decided to forego the next waterfall and we've come to the old bullet tree.
I've been told there'll be fish that will eat my feet.
Oh, okay, here we go.
All right. Jess is gonna whip out her hooves.
So apparently this tree is not only very old, but enchanted. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but it's at least 400 years old. And there's a fish spa down at the bottom in the water around the tree. So we're gonna go to the spa, I think. Oh my God, look at this big fish coming. Is he gonna bite me? Yes, he is. Yes, stop it. Oh my God, oh my God. This fish.
All right, dog's up. Oh my God. He can fit my entire toe in his mouth.
It doesn't hurt, but it's just really...
It feels like, I don't even know how to describe this. Look at these bad boys. Just, oh my God, he's coming, Jeff.
He's coming.
Oh no.
That's a big fish.
Oh my God, he can fit my entire heel in his mouth.
Okay, they obviously don't have teeth, right?
I don't know. He just bites on and then shakes his head like he's trying to get pieces of me off. Look at that.
So we've just finished up at the tree, and let's be honest, once we sat down and put our feet in the water, we completely forgot that we were there to see the tree. So on our way out, I made Dave stop and we both looked at the tree, took it in, and then we left. Because really you're here to get your feet nibbled on by fish, and we were both just shocked by how large some of these fish were. You normally see people sticking their feet in like fish tanks to do this, like fish spa thing, and they're like these little fish. Some of these fish could fit like your whole toe in their mouth. So we've been on the island of Siquijor for the past 4 nights, and while we did get a little bit of exploring in, unfortunately Dave was sick for a lot of it. There was a bit of just holing up in our hotel room and recuperating, but yeah, it's already flown by, and now we are leaving Siquijor for Palawan. So today's another travel day, and basically it's going to start with us getting a tricycle to the ferry port. We now have to take a ferry from here in Siquijor over to, I think it's the island of Negros, and then we'll be getting a flight later today.
We're walking to the main road so that we can try to find someone to take us to the port.
The guy we rented our motorbikes from, Frank, he did not come and pick us up as planned to take us to the port. So obviously he got busy with something. So now we're just walking to what they refer to as the highway. It's the big road that goes around the entire island. Hopefully we can get someone soon because it's very hot. The sun is very strong right now. I think it's at an 8. And we're not wearing sunscreen because we weren't anticipating this. Well, that was fast. We hadn't even stopped walking, and I heard someone coming up behind us, and he pulled over and offered us a ride, and we negotiated, and we're getting driven back to the ferry port for 50 pesos. So I think it's safe to say you should always pretty much expect to pay more once you've arrived at a port and you're heading to your accommodation. And then when you're coming back, it's typically quite a bit cheaper. I think we paid 150 pesos to get a trike to our hotel, and then coming back, it was only 50. All right, so it's just afternoon. It's 12:02 p.m. and we've gotten the call to come line up to come in and board the ferry. So
First time it's on time.
yeah, it's pretty good. Hanging out at this ferry terminal wasn't too bad for an hour. I mean, they do have places you can grab something to eat and drink. We didn't need to, so we had brought some stuff with us, and had also just eaten breakfast recently. But besides that, it's a bit hot. They do have AC going, and there's some fans, so you're not going to die from the heat, but it's still a bit warm. So as we were lining up to get our tickets checked to then come out to board the boat, we saw 2 girls that were right in front of us that thought that they could just use their e-ticket, because we also had e-tickets, but you still have to go to the check-in counter because your e-ticket doesn't have your seat or anything on it. So you, regardless of if you buy your ticket on site or if you buy it in advance with an e-ticket, you have to go and check in and get your actual paper ticket. Yeah. I'll never get over how blue the water is on such a sunny day. It looks a bit choppy here. Hopefully it's not too bad. We did just take some gravel, well, actually about an hour ago, so it's starting to kick in. So we're both feeling a little drowsy, but hopefully that means we'll be all good. We're seats 22, H, and I, so I think we have window seats. That would be nice. We haven't had those yet. We're really glad that we did take that gravel. It's only 45 minutes, so I was debating not taking it because of how drowsy it makes me. But I'm glad we did, because even just boarding the ferry was a little bit trickier this time. We arrived in one piece.
We did.
Now we're just waiting for them to finish docking before we can get off. If you saw our video about us arriving in Siquijor, you'll have seen how chaotic it was for us to get our luggage. So I'm really curious to see if this is going to be the same. So far, it's looking like it might be less crazy. so much easier getting our bags this time. Probably the easiest it's been yet. We got them just as they were being brought off the boat. So it's perfect. But regardless, it looked more organized, or at least less chaotic than the last time. Now we're just heading out of the ferry terminal here to the main street, and we're gonna try and get either a grab or just a tricycle to get to that co-working space.
All right, so we were able to find ourselves a trike to get from the port to a co-working space. We were able to haggle it down to $150, and it should take us about 8 minutes.
We just spent a couple hours at that co-working space. We had actually seen a Starbucks on our way to it, and I kind of questioned maybe we should go there instead, but this space was perfect. It had really great Wi-Fi, really nice drinks, a great bathroom, and I loved the music they were playing in the background, very like late 80s and 90s kid type music. So it was really, really nice. And now we're just grabbing another trike to head to go grab something to eat for dinner before we head to the airport, because I guess the airport doesn't have very much in the way of food.
You know a place is going to be fancy when they give you hand towels to wash your hands before the meal.
We are at a place called Arbor. I'm gonna get fish and chips, and Jess is getting like a chicken breast and ratatouille, which I think is just fancy vegetables. And then we got some German potatoes here. Oh, there's bacon on top of that too.
Oh, that looks really good.
Incredible.
It looks incredible.
That's very good fish. That is good. It's nice and light, actually. It's not very greasy. It's good fish, whatever it is. Good stuff.
My dish came out looking beautiful. Looks like eggplant and red peppers. Oh my god. Really good. Incredible. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I'm so happy.
So we just had arguably the best meal we've had so far while on this trip. We're trying to get to the airport now. We're trying to get a grab. It's still searching. We'll see what happens. Good morning. I feel like I'm being attacked by mosquitoes. Or it could just be the rain that's just started.
Oh, it's the rain.
Yes.
Oh, it's raining. Let's go to our roof.
Okay, 1 second.
So I don't even remember anymore where we left off, but it was at least a day and a half ago. Basically, we had plans for Puerto Princesa, but they got kind of derailed. So long story short, our original flight that was going to have us get in around like 1 or 2 p.m. got canceled because of the volcano that's currently having issues on the island of Negros. It's really close, I guess, to the Cebu City airport. So they canceled our flight that was supposed to go there and then bring us to Puerto Princesa. And instead we had to fly to Manila first and then here. And basically the flight was like 7 hours later. Then it got delayed by almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah, we didn't get in and get to sleep until like 2 a.m. And then we would have had to get up at 7 a.m. in order to go and do the underground river tour. So we're sad we missed it, but there was just no way we were going to be able to do that especially with Dave still not fully recovered.
I'm getting better.
And
but
then
slowly. Yeah.
I just have been feeling a little bit off, so we just didn't want to push it. So basically, we've just had a really chill day here yesterday. Ate some food.
Did some video editing.
Did some video editing. Watched some movies. Just had a really chill day. It's a really nice place.
This is the best sleep I've had of the entire trip.
Yeah, it was just a really good stay, so we just really wanted to take advantage of it because now we're heading to El Nido. So we're just waiting on our transfer. We're going by van. It could take 5 hours, it could take 9 hours. We're not fully sure. And then that'll just take us into like the main town in El Nido that like kind of everybody goes to. Then we're an hour's drive to the other side to Sibaltan, to a place called Top. It looks nice. It looks more rustic than what we've been experiencing so far. I'm a little apprehensive, a little nervous.
It's probably actually on par with like backpackers.
Yeah, that's true. We had a lot of bugs in that room too. We're just hanging out front our little villa that we had. Checking out the fish in the moat that's around our place.
I will say there's not been a single bug inside.
No, there hasn't. The van is here. How's the bus ride so far?
Bus ride's not too bad. We got picked up about 8:15. I kind of had an idea in my mind, especially since I read some reviews online that were very mixed. Tons of bad reviews. So far, it's kind of been better than expected. The reviews had talked about how it drives really fast, feels really dangerous. They never leave on time, never arrive on time. Too many people, too many bags. For ours, most of that's pretty true, but it's kind of what you expect, or it's at least kind of what I expected. Another nice thing is the AC is going nice and cool in there. Now I guess onto the unfortunate stuff is, first off, our driver, they just want to get from A to B as fast as possible. This guy's driving so fast. He's like overtaking, he's swerving, all that stuff, so it's like, it's hard to rest because every once in a while you'll be almost asleep and then you'll just get almost thrown into the aisle because he'll like go around someone really fast. I like to think that we're pretty seasoned as far as being a passenger in crazy modes of transportation. This is fast.
I appreciate getting there quickly, but I'm also glad I can't really see because it's terrifying. Also, probably within the first 20 minutes or so, I took a gravel because there was just no way. And we didn't even eat breakfast, thank goodness, because I definitely wouldn't have kept it down. It's windy and yeah, it was just a lot. So luckily we still have lots of gravel. So I took one and then Dave took one shortly after me. And then for the most part, it just made me really sleepy and I haven't been having many issues. I haven't really felt much nausea after that, so that's been good. I don't know if I'd say I'm super hungry per se, but again, we haven't eaten yet and it's 11 a.m. At this rest stop, there's the washrooms and there's two places that you can kind of get food from. So initially we got some bananas and a Gatorade, and then we decided maybe we'd have something a little bit more, so we're getting some fries. But there's just no way that we're gonna eat a big meal right now because we gotta get back in that van for 2 more hours.
So it's 1:30 now. We just got dropped off at a random spot in El Nido. Since we didn't have a hotel here, the entire drive took about 5.5 hours. We did stop for that 30-minute break where we had some fries and stretched our legs a little bit. But other than that, it was just a very fast drive.
Seriously fast.
Very fast drive. Fast enough that I checked the speed on my phone and he was getting over 100 kilometers an hour while driving. And like, they're good roads, but they're very tight. Yeah, I just kind of put some music on and tried to keep my eyes closed, and I just knew that if we hit anything or anything happened, we were toast. No way of living through that. We got dropped off, and then there's essentially 2 ways to get to where we want to go. You can either get a bus. It's supposed to be 200 pesos per person, but it only leaves at noon, and that is the best option. Or the other option, the only other option, is to get a trike or a taxi. The trike is the cheaper option, and it's supposed to be basically between 1,500 and 2,000 pesos to get from El Nido to Sibaltan. So that's the option we did, 1,500. And I mean, we were quoted by 2 different trikes and then our hotel as well as a dive center. So now that we're off to Sibaltan, we'll be in this trike for the next hour.
We've just arrived in Sibaltan, a small town in El Nido on the opposite side of the island from El Nido town proper. After getting settled into our accommodations at the Eco Lodge, we hitched a ride into downtown Sibaltan to rent some motorbikes. From there, we did the 1-hour drive into El Nido town proper, where our first priority was getting something to eat.
These are potato and mushroom dumplings, and they're very good. I'm going to preface this by saying we've only been eating food at our current hotel, and our hotel doesn't do bad food. They just do very basic food. So I'm very hungry.
So the place that we're eating at is called the Odessa Mama Cafe, and it's Ukrainian food, which, like Dave said, it's a very nice change from what we've been eating the last couple of days. I got some cabbage rolls. I think they have pork and vegetables in them. And then it looks like there's maybe sour cream or some sort of sauce on top. And then, yeah, Dave got they're like a potato pancake type thing with like a mushroom sauce on it. And what's great about those two things is that I can eat them because they're both gluten-free. And they actually specifically say gluten-free on the menu. So that's pretty exciting. It's been a bit tough to find stuff that's specifically labeled gluten-free or that isn't just like rice noodles or smoothie bowls. So I'm really excited to try this. Oh my God. That's freaking incredible. I mean, this place has incredibly high reviews, so I'm not shocked. But still, oh my God, it's so freaking good. I'm so happy. So this is like a potato-y pancake type thing. And I believe it's like a mushroom sauce on top. I'm not normally a mushroom person, but I feel like I would be doing it an injustice if I didn't try it as a whole thing. I think we're gonna live here now. I think we might sleep here tonight. Oh my God, it's so good. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just freaking delicious. How are your dumplings?
Very good.
There's only one left.
There's only one left. In my defense, I didn't eat anything for dinner last night.
Yeah, there was a pizza situation.
There was a pizza situation. I ordered pizza. It sounded delicious. It showed up.
It looked okay.
It looked okay. I think they used Kraft singles to melt as the cheese. That was jarring.
Yeah.
If you can't use your hands to eat, then what are you doing? That's very good. I'll eat all of it.
Oh, back off.
Yeah, okay. I'll eat half of it.
Okay. All right, so that was by far the most expensive meal that we've had so far in the Philippines. It was $38 Canadian. But, oh my gosh, it was so good that it was absolutely worth it. And now we're feeling ready to explore El Nido today. So besides getting that food, we really didn't have any other plans specifically for today. So at this point, we're kind of just walking around, seeing what there is to see. We might visit a beach or two, maybe pop in some of these shops. We're definitely, actually, you know what? We do have a plan. And first it's gonna be popping into the store, but also we're gonna go grab some coffee first. The place we're staying uses condensed milk and it was just not good. So I'm very excited to go get something caffeinated. All right, so we've spent about the last 20 minutes walking around the streets right near the beach, like one street over from the beach, trying to find a coffee place just to pop in with some AC or a nice breeze and grab some lattes. It was harder to do than expected, and not because there isn't a ton of coffee places, but everywhere was just packed. It was either all the seating was taken, the last place that we just went into, they had just run out of coffee beans. There was another place that only did plant-based milk, and Dave's not a fan, so we decided to pass on that one. So we just decided we're just gonna walk down and walk along the beach a little bit, and so we're actually right by El Nido Beach, and we just found this place called Marber's Beach Club, and it's literally right on the beach. It's a little bit more price-wise than if you were to get a coffee somewhere further away from the beach a bit, but that's just fine. We're happy to finally have somewhere to sit and enjoy the ocean. So we spent maybe an hour at that beach bar, had our coffees, they were pretty good. How much did it end up coming to?
$4.30 for both.
430 pesos. More pricey than we probably normally spend on a coffee, but the view and having, you know, your feet in the sand while you are drinking it,
I'd say that made it worth it.
Yeah, flew some drone. It was nice.
Some amazing views. Yeah, just incredible. So this is the main beach, like El Nido Beach, I think is the name of it. And doesn't really seem like it's much of a spot for swimming. For the most part, it looks like it's just where all the boats are that pick people up for tours and things. So it mostly seems like it's maybe some local swimming. There have been some people lying out on the beach, but the water looks like maybe it's not as clean because of all of the boats and things. It's still very beautiful, beautiful spot. But I think we're gonna head out now, go back to our bikes and drive back.
Yeah, maybe we'll find something on the way.
Yeah, we're gonna see what we see along the way. There's some other beaches and all kinds of stuff. So we'll just see what we see.
Perfect.
All right, so just wanted to make a note that we parked in a random lot. They had pay parking written on the side of the wall next to it, and it was only 30 pesos per bike for 5 hours. So less than $1 per person to park our bikes here, and you didn't have to worry about trying to find street parking somewhere or getting your bike towed away. So
Good deal.
pretty good deal. We'll put a little pin for where this was. But yeah, it's great. So on the way back to our hotel, we decided to stop at a beach that was along the way, and it's called Nakpan Beach. I'm probably butchering that, but this beach is gorgeous. It's just before 4 o'clock right now, so we're kind of just here. Dave's gonna fly his drone. The waves are massive. It looks like so much fun, and I mean, we do have our bathing suits with us, so we could go in right now. We didn't bring towels, and yeah, I think what we're gonna do instead is just come back early tomorrow morning and spend a couple of hours here because it just looks incredible. This beach compared to how El Nido Beach looked, night and day. The sand is just so clean looking. I mean, we haven't been right down by the water, but where we are now, like I've got my shoes off, feet in the sand. It's such fine sand. The water is blue. So yeah, I think we're gonna come back here. Oh, we're definitely coming back here in the morning. So this morning we're on our way back to the beach that we were at yesterday afternoon. So far it's looking like a cloudy day. There's some blue sky kind of peeking through. I'm hoping once we get to the other side of the island, it'll clear up. It'll be nice and warm and sunny, and we decided to not have breakfast at our hotel this morning, and we're heading to the beach first, and so we'll probably just get something to eat there. So we're at a place called Sunmai Beach Bar and Restaurant, and we're getting breakfast here this morning. Again, we decided to forego breakfast at our place, and I don't think this is actually that much more expensive than having gotten breakfast.
As long as you don't get drinks.
Yeah, the drinks are a bit pricey, like $250 for a coffee. So we're gonna see if we can find a coffee somewhere else along the beach. But I think mine was $3.80 or something, and yours was around the same.
Something like that, yeah.
And yeah, it looks really good. And we've got a view of the beach. It was nice. The drive here was mostly cloudy. There was a very brief sprinkle of some rain. But by the time we were pulling into the beach area, the sun started coming out. It's a bit cloudy still, but there's still lots of blue sky. So I think we're gonna see the sun quite a bit this morning. So we finished up breakfast and then came down to the beach and rented some beach chairs. It's $500 per couple, so $250 per beach chair, but it's for the whole day. Now we will be here for the whole day, but even a couple of hours, like $12 basically, for both of us to have a chair, feels pretty worth it to me. And the only other thing that's cost money so far was 20 pesos per person to park our bikes, but there was no actual entrance fee to get onto the beach. You do have to sign in though. They ask you to sign your name, country you're from, that kind of thing when you're entering the beach, but there's no fee.
I want to check out the cost of coconuts after.
All right, Dave, water's gonna be cold, warm, what do you think?
Cold.
Yeah, probably. The waves are massive. But the sand is so nice. Whew. Whew. I mean, it's nice. Oh God. Oh no. Most of these waves are okay, but then occasionally you get a really big one.
Fun though.
It was fun.
It's cold.
Straight up coconut water.
I've never had coconut water before. Not bad. You should try some. I don't think you could hate this.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of coconut, but I will try it.
It's pretty heavy if you want to take it.
Wow. I hope I like it. Interesting. That's not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting like a really like stereotypically coconutty flavor. That was just like thick water.
It's not thick at all.
After finishing up at the beach, we did the 1-hour drive back to Sibaltan town and decided to check out the main beach there.
The beach down here is pretty nice, I would say. The water is pretty shallow. I don't know how far you'd have to go out to actually be able to swim. It looks like kiteboarding is a really big thing here. They do like kiteboarding lessons, and you can also just rent them and do kiteboarding, and it looks like it's a pretty good spot for it. And then there's 2 dive shops down here as well. We're going to be diving, I think, with Dive Sibaltan, and we've just been waiting for Dave's lungs to be 100% before we do that, but we're hoping to do that in the next couple of days before we leave here, because you can dive with mantas. We did also try to book an island hopping tour on this side of the island, because we're not super excited about doing like one of the alphabet tours, they call them. So either tour A, B, C, or D on the other side, like the main part of El Nido. They seem very, very packed. They're obviously very popular. Yeah, just not really seeming like our thing. But we tried to book an island hopping tour on this side of the island, but the one company that does it, they're booked up for the entire month of February already. So we unfortunately aren't able to do that. So we're gonna see if there's another option, I'm not sure. Otherwise, maybe you will see us doing one of the alphabet tours. I think we were looking at tour A, so we'll see.
El Nido is known primarily for one thing: island hopping tours. Also known as the alphabet tours, island hoppers can choose between tours A, B, C, or D to visit various destinations around El Nido. While they may be incredible experiences, they are also incredibly crowded. We've decided to try winging a private island hopping tour in Sibaltan, a small, relatively untouched town on the opposite side of the island. The one tour company that operates such tours was fully booked, so we asked a local restaurant owner for help.
We're back this morning at the restaurant that we ate lunch at yesterday, and this is the place that we actually also booked the tour through, and they had a friend, and we're gonna get some breakfast here. Dave's having, I think it's a mackerel. It's very large, a very large fish that he's getting a piece of, and it was just fresh caught this morning, I believe.
Yeah, it's nice. You can just ask them what they just caught, and yesterday it was some other fish, some like smaller red jackfish. Maybe there was some grouper that I think they said they caught.
Yeah.
And today they just said there was this massive fish that they caught. Oh. That is a huge fish. Thank you.
Yeah.
So they said for a piece the size of my palm, I could have it for $400.
So we're just gonna eat here, and then we're supposed to be leaving on the boat around 10, but they said that they would just obviously wait for us to finish eating.
Yeah.
And then we'll head out.
Try it out.
We just finished up our breakfast, and the restaurant owner came and brought us life jackets and some snorkel masks that we're going to be renting from them for 500 pesos total. We're just waiting to see what boat we're going to get, because I don't think the original boat is the one that's going to be coming.
Current boat, it's not seaworthy, I guess. They said they have to fix it or get us a new boat. So we'll see what happens with that.
So we're really hoping that this works out, because the idea is that we're doing this instead of doing one of the ABCD tours from El Nido. Those are the ones that have like Secret Beach, the big and small lagoon. They look incredible, they look beautiful, but they also look very crowded. We're just trying to see if we can do things a little bit differently and maybe, have a more
private tour of an area that's more untouched. That's kind of just what we're hoping for. And I'll be honest too, part of it was because we're staying on this side of the island. It takes about an hour and 20 minutes for us to drive our motorbikes into the main town of El Nido. And we just didn't want to have to do that super early in the morning, go out on a very adventurous tour, and then have to drive all the way back once we returned. All right, so apparently our boat has arrived. So not the two boats on the right, but the little tiny one at the back.
Our first boat's engine didn't work, so they said for an extra 300 pesos they'd get us an engine that did work. So that's a positive.
Yeah, so now it's 3,300.
Yes.
And we're leaving, and it's just before 11 now.
Yeah, nice and hot.
So a bit of a rocky start, but we'll see if we can come back from this. There's our little boat.
I don't see an engine on it, but we paid less than $10 to have an engine, so
yeah,
there should be one that works there.
there should be one. I think he was bringing over a jug of gasoline.
Yes. The reason why it took so long, why we're leaving an hour late, is because the other engine stopped working when they were out there near that other island out there, and they had to row back and then get a new engine.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's nobody else around on the beach.
Yeah, we're the only people.
Tourists. Like, there's obviously people that live here, but yeah, we're the only tourists currently waiting to get on this boat. So I think that's a win already. Hey, cutie. All right, Dave, we're off. Your bag's probably gonna get wet.
Yeah.
Hold my hand.
A lot of stuff that we have with us right now cannot get wet. And this feels like a very wet situation.
It does. Just arrived at our first island, and we're pulled up over top of some beautiful coral, and we're already seeing fish, and the water is so clear that I'm gonna go for a swim and then hopefully be able to get back in the boat after. So I just went for a snorkel for maybe, what, 20 minutes?
Probably, yeah.
And the water was just crystal clear down there. I saw so many fish. The coral was just incredible. There was all these, like, I don't know, they looked like trees without leaves. However, then it came time to get out. And let's say I have no upper body strength. So Dave and the lovely gentleman that's driving us around today hauled me out of the water in the most ungraceful way possible. It hurt me, it hurt Dave. So I don't know if I'll be doing that again. It was still pretty incredible.
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. me up somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself.
All right, Dave,
Oh,
we're at stop number 2.
could be the last stop too. Does that mean I'm feeling this spot?
I think the guy realized that us jumping in and getting back on the boat, this was not
Gonna be a thing?
going to be a thing. So yeah, we're just at this beach. It looks like there's a few homes right here along it, but besides that, there's nobody else here. It's 1:30 now. I think we left the last island just before 1, so it's taken about between 30 and 40 minutes to get from that island to this one. Ready to go in, Dave?
Yeah.
My actual snorkel part wasn't working before, so I've just decided to ditch it. Dave's gonna use this one because he hasn't actually been snorkeling yet.
No.
I've been a couple of times in various places, so I'm gonna give him the best chance to breathe underwater. Just pull him back in. How are you feeling about the trip?
Good. Good and very hot sun today.
Yes.
Like UV 10 or higher.
Yeah.
So sunscreen that we put on doesn't feel like, and we put on what, 2 or 3 times?
Dave's pretty burnt. I've got a bit of a burn, and we were reapplying frequently. And yeah, really hot sun. So keep that in mind. We ended up doing 2 islands. We could have done a third, but we chose to stay at the second one longer because it had a nice beach, and we were able to fly the drone, and we were able to swim, and it was just nice and chill. So we were happy with that. You could do more islands if you wanted to do more islands. There seems like there's no shortage of them on this side. Just pulling back in, it's just after 3. We left just around 11. Voila. That's a pretty good day. So we finished our island hopping tour. Well, I'm sure you can tell I am quite red. We reapplied a ton. I guess the sun was just super, super strong today. We're both very, very burnt. But we're back at the place that arranged the boat tour for us for dinner. And we're just having the most incredible sunset right now. I had to come back down to the beach just to try and capture some of it. It's just gorgeous down here. Oh. After spending a full week in Sibaltan, a small town on the east coast of El Nido, we are finally heading out for an afternoon of diving. So of course we just found out this morning that there's a faster way to get to the beach. We had kept our motorbikes for an extra day in order to drive down to the beach for our island hopping tour the other day because we didn't want to have to walk. It was just over 1 kilometer, but it was going to take time. And we just thought it would be easier to keep the bikes. We just walked less than 5 minutes from our lodge and look where we are. The beach. Did I mention it's our last day of 8? This is actually a really nice spot too. I feel like this could have been a good swimming spot. We are back in the sun though, which is something we're trying to avoid. Our UPF shirts are currently in the laundry and they didn't make it back in time before we left. And we're both suffering from some sunburns from the island hopping. We wore so much sunscreen, reapplied so many times, but the sun was just too strong and there just wasn't enough shade on the boat. We just
Didn't even realize that we were burning until it was too late. So the reason we're heading out to the beach today is because in about an hour and a half,
Yep.
we're going to be heading out on a dive boat with Dive Sibaltan to go and do 2 dives. We haven't done any diving since we were in Moalboal, partially because Dave was sick, and
That's it.
I think that's really the only reason. But he's finally feeling better and his lungs feel well enough that we can go and do this. So we're pretty excited. And the hope is, we don't know what both dives are, but we know that one of the spots is the manta cleaning station. And the hope is that we'll get to see some manta rays. We've come back to the same restaurant we've eaten at when we were on the beach the past few days. They have really fresh fish, and Dave's just obsessed. So we've just finished up lunch. It's just after 12:30 and we're heading back to the dive shop. We're scheduled to be there for 1, but they said if we get there a bit early, we can get all of our gear together and get ready to go and head out whenever we're ready. Although there is actually one other couple that's coming out with us, so it'll depend on when they arrive too. But the hope is that everyone's punctual and we just get going. So the dive boat's a little bit further out, so we're taking this boat to get to it.
I only have 1 hose in the right and 3 hoses in the left. The primary air source, the secondary air source is the mimic of, okay? And then the yellow hose, we are not gonna use that today. After, okay? And this one, we're not gonna use this.
I'm ready.
So this one,
I was a little nervous, but now I'm really excited.
the bucket.
I'm just trying to remember all the things about like clearing my mask under water and things that we did recently, but now I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, wait, how do I clear my mask?
Exactly.
I stand corrected. I'm pretty sure we're actually just diving from the...
Extend.
I like those little rays.
It just looks dead.
Oh yeah. Why would I use effort?
Dave got pretty seasick during our surface interval, so we didn't capture much in between dives. Stick around until the end, where we'll give a full rundown of the experience.
dive shop. We have shower there and also towel waiting for you. Once again, thank you so much for diving with us, and we hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you. So we just finished up 2 afternoon dives with Dive Sibaltan. We went to 2 separate sites. The first one was a reef, Wild East, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
We saw some spotted rays and then just a ton of fish. The
Yeah.
reef was just like teeming. Just never expect there to be that many fish, and not only that, but that many different types of fish. Like when we dove the sardine run, the majority of the fish that we were seeing were sardines.
And the visibility on the first one was probably the best visibility we've ever had. It was probably 20 plus meters.
It was so good.
And it was on a sandy bottom. So when we first learned to dive and all the diving we'd done prior, it was a wall dive. So it's basically just like a big steep wall of coral and whatever, but it just goes way deep, like way deeper than you can dive. This one was an actual like sandy bottom. So you could see the bottom, you could stand on the bottom, and it was only like 16 meters, 18 meters deep.
Yeah, I think the max we went was just over 18 meters.
Yeah, so a completely different type of dive than we've done before, and it was really fun.
It was
really nice.
really fun. It was really good. Dive number 2, we went to go look for manta rays. So we were diving at the manta cleaning station area, and there was 4 separate stations. And so you swim to each one, and then you're supposed to kneel to watch for a few minutes to see if a manta comes. And then if they don't, then you move on to the next station, as you don't want to swim over the station or anything like that, because it can mess things up, and then the mantas don't come and all that kind of thing. Unfortunately, we did not see any mantas at any of the stations, but even though we didn't see any mantas, we still saw so many other things. It was such a good dive. Visibility
reduced a little bit, probably 15 meters.
Yeah.
Or even less sometimes, but it was a shallower dive. I think it was around 13 to 14 meters. But we saw turtles, we saw cuttlefish, we saw jawfish, we saw
a flounder, more spotted rays, and just tons of fish. Like there was so many fish down there. And it was cool because again, we were actually spending more time like kneeling on the sandy bottom, because that's how you watch for the mantas. And it was just really cool because I felt like you could actually stay in one spot and actually like look around the ocean floor and just see all the little like fish that are digging holes. And
it was interesting because this time there was a bit of a current. The better the current, the better chance there is to see rays. But there was a bit of a current this time, so you just like kneel on the ground. It'd be hard to stay upright. You're just getting pushed.
Yeah.
So.
But I guess they said it wasn't a very strong current.
No.
Because if you get a strong current, then you're more likely to have mantas. But yeah, amazing dive. And the dive guides, dive masters, were all incredible.
Yeah, it was good.
It was really, really good. You had a bit of a seasickness situation.
It was really wavy between the first and second dive, and it took us probably 10-15 minutes to find all the people because there was 3 different groups.
Yeah.
And we were the first ones up, so we were just sitting on the boat and it was just rocking, and I just started feeling a little off, but I wasn't sure if I was going to do the second dive, but the thought of sitting on a boat for another hour was enough to get me back in the water. And as soon as I got in the water and under the water, it was fine.
Yeah.
I felt like
and they said too, even if he had stayed up on the boat and didn't dive, that he should just get in the water and then just be like swimming next to the boat because it would have helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really good that once you got under, you're
it was
feeling
good.
a lot better. So.
Then we got to see turtles.
And we got to see a turtle. He was so cool. Yeah, it was a green sea turtle.
He just munching away.
And yeah, that's basically that, I think.
That is.
Came back, took all the stuff off. Had a little shower, paid the money. Yeah, it was what, $4,800 per person, I think.
With dive computer, all the rented stuff, it came out to be almost 10,000 flat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. And that's including the fee that you had to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you pay card, that's 3.5%.
Might have to pay Amex so we can get some points.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. I think now we're going to go and just run into this resort that's right next to us over here and see if they have any nice drinks.
Iced coffee.
Before we, maybe not at this time, before we head back to our hotel. It's our last night at our hotel. And then tomorrow we're heading to Coron.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited to sleep inside because we've been sleeping outside for 8 days.
Yeah, it's been pretty...
Let's have 4 walls and some air conditioning.
Yeah, exactly. Less bugs, maybe. All right. Yeah, so that's basically the end of that. And we'll see you next time.
Good morning. It's another travel day.
It is indeed.
We are heading to Coron today from Sibaltan in El Nido. We've been up since 5:15. Quarter after five. We got up early this morning to pack all our things because the van was supposed to arrive between 6 and 6:30. It's now coming up on 7:30. I mean, we kind of expected it would be late. So it's supposed to be here in the next couple of minutes. Unfortunately, the direct van, the company wasn't getting back to the hotel. So we are taking one that's supposed to stop in a bunch of cities, so it could take several hours.
Or it could take an hour and a half.
And that'll get us into, I don't know if it's taking us to El Nido proper or if it's taking us to the ferry.
I think it's just taking us to El Nido.
Hopefully we'll have some time once there to grab something to eat, hang out for a little bit before heading to the ferry terminal, probably for like 11:30.
I think an hour before, and our boat leaves at 12:30, I think.
Yeah, we should hopefully be in Coron by like 4 o'clock.
Yes.
Maybe 5 p.m.
Yeah.
If there's some delays on the ferry, but we're coming for you, Coron.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 7:40 and we just got picked up. It says it's gonna take about an hour, and I think that we're the only 2 people.
Sounds like it's going well.
So it's going well so far. We just got dropped off just outside the main area of town. The vans can't drive through into the main El Nido proper, but it dropped us off at the perfect spot, and it only took 50 minutes. I mean, the guy was driving pretty fast, but not bad at all. We were the only ones that he picked up. It was the best possible outcome that there could have been, because it was either pay 250 pesos per person for this van that could potentially take 4 hours and have a ton of pickups, or take a trike, which would probably have taken closer to an hour and a half and would have been 1,500 pesos. Yeah, it was the best possible outcome. We're pretty darn happy with that. Now we're just walking to a place, I think it's called El Nido Brunch or Brunch El Nido or something like that. So we just walked like 2 minutes down the road and came to Brunch El Nido. So we both got our iced lattes this morning, and they ordered a sausage salad that comes with English muffins, and I got a fruit and yogurt bowl. So unfortunately I will still be taking a dairy pill, even though this probably had oat milk, but I still prefer the taste of oat milk in my coffee these days, so it's very good. Oh, I'm so happy. These boats are absolutely packed full of people. And they're all going to the same place. And what's crazier is that there's still hundreds of people on the beach waiting to get on board. So many people. Now it probably doesn't seem so crazy why we wanted to do our own island hopping in Sibaltan instead of getting on one of these boats.
.11:30's boarding. All right, and now we go over there. Thank you. Ooh.
You put all your bags through security and then you walk through a metal detector, and they did not seem to care to set the metal detector off. But one girl had a shell in her bag, and it says outside on a sign, if you have any shells, take them out because you can't take them.
I found that shell.
And they found that shell. She was trying to tell them that it wasn't from here, but they did not care. They confiscated that shell. So we just grabbed a trike at the ferry port and paid 200 to get to our hotel. So we've been on the island of Coron for the past couple of days, mostly just catching up on video editing, but now we're finally feeling ready for an adventure, I guess.
So we're about to go climb 720 steps up to the top of, I think it's Tapyas Mountain. Mount
I have
Tapyas.
no idea what this is called.
Yeah. So I'm already out of breath just from walking here. So
We've done like 6 steps. So
yeah, there was a hill.
we're getting
My
there.
heart's pounding. What time is it right now?
It's 5:23
Sun goes down,
at 6:05.
so we have 40 minutes.
Took it up that hill.
We'll see how it goes. Oh, it's already a nice view.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. This was fully my idea, but I'm already the one trying to get out of doing it.
100 steps. 200.
I'm not even halfway there yet. Oh, hi. Are you friendly? No?
No.
No, you're not. I would pet you, but you kind of sound mad. I'm overheating. Don't let my red face be an indication of how tough it is. I just have very bad body temperature control.
500.
We're at 500 though. What's math? 220 to go?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Nope.
And I think we might actually make it. I think we've only been walking for like
20 minutes. Exactly.
yeah. Not bad. Feels like a shame reel.
Show me life, show me love, make it change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love.
We are at the top, and we're using the lights of the Coron sign to light us up.
Yeah, to light us up. Yeah, we got up here around.
Let's say it took us 35 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was like 5:40 when we got up here-ish, and then watched the sunset, and kind of just been hanging out up here for a little bit, and then eventually the Coron light came on, so that's pretty cool.
All in all, for the walk, for 720 steps, it was really easy. Like, surprisingly, I was expecting it to take us like half an hour. Probably took us 25 minutes. I don't know. It felt like it was really a lot easier than expected.
For some of us.
Yeah, I was doing better than expected.
I was not.
It just was breathing hard.
But it's also really, really hot here, and like I said, I don't handle heat well, so I'm gonna blame it on that.
That's true. But yeah, it was nice. Got to see the city, which is kind of great because when you're down in the city, it's pretty flat, so you can't see anywhere. I'd say for a free activity, it takes about 25 minutes. It's worthwhile.
I know there's no entrance fee or anything, which I was kind of expecting there to be.
All right.
A lot of bugs though, but just like little tiny beetle things.
All right, time to head down.
Okay. So now we've made our way to Inasal Eats. It's been one of our favorite spots to eat at while we've been here in Coron because it's so good and it's such a good value. It's definitely probably the least expensive meal that we've had since being here, but potentially even in the Philippines. It's quite good. Tonight we're both having barbecue chicken breast with rice, and then we also got some pork skewers on the side. We really want to try another dish that they have. I think it's called liempo, but they haven't had it the past couple of nights, and actually yesterday they were completely closed because they didn't have any food left. So it definitely sells out. It's 7:20 now, and luckily they do still have the chicken and the pork skewers. Thank you. The pork barbecue, I think, is my favorite. It's so good. Good morning. It's about 10 to 8 right now, and we're just waiting for our pickup. Today we're heading out on the super ultimate tour of Coron. So we actually just got picked up at like 5 to 8. It was perfect. And then it was literally like a minute in the van. We probably actually could have just said we'd meet them here and gone for breakfast. Because the hard thing is they tell you your pickup is between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. So you have to be up and ready for 7:30, but you could be waiting an hour and a half. We did manage to get some coffees before we left at a place right next to our hotel, but no food yet, so we're hoping there's snacks. So first impressions, it doesn't seem as busy as it was on El Nido for the island hopping. However, this is also kind of like a port, so all the boats are actually docked that you're getting on, so maybe it just doesn't look as chaotic. So everything's one on my thing. Except the top one. Would like to see if they have one.
Tour for today is Coron Island Super Ultimate Tour. That is a combination of the lakes, lagoon, coral gardens, and beaches. So we have 6 or 7 destinations.
I won't let the stormy seas throw me in open water. Let me have my peace and leave me till tomorrow. Wind into my sail, away from things I let go, floating on the waves.
We just arrived at Barracuda Lake and we're about to jump in off the boat. There's nowhere to park closer to, so we're gonna just jump in off the boat, swim over, and then go to the entrance.
So we're here at Barracuda Lake. It's the first stop on our super ultimate day tour. And first impressions so far, it's beautiful, first of all, and it's actually not as insanely busy as I was expecting. There's maybe like 5 tour groups here right now. Our group has 16 people in it, a lot less than expected, so it's been really nice so far. So we obviously have snorkel gear, and I got some fins, but there really isn't a whole lot to see under the water here, at least as a snorkeler. There's definitely people that are diving, and I think there'd be more to see deeper down. But regardless, the water's nice and warm, and this is kind of a nice first stop. The water here is brackish water, so it's a mix of salt water and fresh water. And the surface temperature is quite warm, probably 28 to 30 degrees. And then I guess as soon as you get down, I think he said 8 to 10 meters, it goes up to almost 40 degrees. A bit of a hot springs, but it separates, so that it gets warmer the further down you go. I think we have 40 minutes here, and then we'll be back on the boat and heading over to the next spot. We've seen a few small fish, and then what looks like a sucker fish, I think, on a rock. And then there's just these really, really tiny little fish that swim along on the surface, so that's been funny. Again, not a whole lot to see, but it is quite beautiful here.
This one we paid a little bit extra to come to Barracuda Lake. I would say skip it, personally. Based on the different places that we should be going today and the different things we can see, different corals and fish and turtles and so on and so forth. I haven't seen them yet because it's their first stop. I would say it's not really worth it, to be honest. It's kind of treacherous to get down here. You got to walk up some steps and down some steps, and they're like nailed down with rubber, and it's super slippery. Our guide said we didn't have to wear shoes here, so we didn't wear shoes. But I would say if you have like water shoes, then definitely wear them because you'll get a bit more traction. And I just watched a person right now with bare feet slip into the water. So, you know, food for thought.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
So now we're at Twin Lagoon. So this is the first lagoon of the twins. And then we're going
to swim just back behind me to there, and then we'll find the second lagoon. This is a spot where if you rented a kayak, you can kayak over, otherwise you can just swim.
I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche, we're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow, we can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts.
So what seems to be happening, Dave?
I guess the rocks here have some sort of magnetic field, and I guess it's really common for drones to go down. I launched mine and started having issues as soon as it was just hovering. My drone right now thinks I'm 15 million meters away from it, which is not the case.
Not the case. All right, so we're just finishing up at our third stop, which is also our lunch stop. What were your thoughts on lunch?
Lunch was pretty good. I mean, granted, they make it throughout our trip, so by the time you get here, it's not hot. It was good, and I mean, granted, I didn't have any breakfast. I'm full now, so it was good.
And they asked again before we had left the port if anyone had dietary restrictions, and I let them know that I couldn't have gluten, and so they brought me a separate chicken and a separate vegetable dish. Same stuff, but just cooked separately. So that was really great. I wasn't fully expecting that, so that was really nice. If you had rented a kayak, you could kayak at this beach, or you could just go swimming. We kind of just reapplied our sunscreen and hung out in the shade, and now we're heading back to the boat.
Sequijor. Then 200 steps going down to the lake. Okay?
How sweet's iced coffee?
Very sweet, but I'm happy to have it because it's nice and warm. You wouldn't expect that being 28 degrees that you'd be cold at any point during the day, but I most certainly am. We're at another lake now, and you were going to be required to go up 100 and something steps up and then down 200 and something to get to the lake, and then do it all on the way back. It might sound lazy, but we're just not feeling it. We're just chilling on the boat, and they got us some coffee, so that was really nice. So far though, we've been to, I think this is our 4th stop. Nope, 5th. I think this might be our 5th stop because we started at the Barracuda Lake, and then we went to Twin Lagoons, I think it was called. And then we went to the lunch spot, which was like a beach. And then we went snorkeling. We actually were originally supposed to snorkel at a different coral reef, but the waves and the wind suddenly really picked up, and it was kind of brutal. So they decided that we were going to go to a different reef because the one that we were originally going to go to, they said it's just way too open, and with the waves and everything, it just wouldn't be great for snorkeling. And even the spot that we did go to was still quite wavy, and it did make it a bit more challenging. But the coral was incredible, and there was quite a few fish. So it was still a nice snorkeling spot. So now that we're parked here, we're just waiting for everybody to come back from the lake, and then we have one more snorkel spot before the trip is done.
I was a bit apprehensive initially about this trip. We didn't do a trip like this in El Nido. We went down to the beach where they launch all the tours from. There were so many people. Like, I think we kind of estimated that there was probably between 700 and 1,500 people leaving in about the time frame of like an hour. So when we got here to Coron, I was kind of thinking that it'd be the same. Like, we'd sign up, and then it'd just be another 750 people, 1,000 people all leaving at the same time. Super low key, actually. We have the same size boats that they were using in El Nido. The ones in El Nido had about 26 people on them, 26 to 30 people. Ours, I think, has, what, 16? And I mean, we've gone to 4 or 5 different places now. None of them seem overly, like, full. The places are so large that, you know, you can get in the water, start snorkeling, and it's not like you're running into anyone. I'm happy that we ended up coming. I really enjoyed jumping off the boat. That's been kind of fun.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So the tour is done.
Tour is done.
Just got back to the docks, and they were going to drive us back in the van that they had picked us up in, but we realized we're only a 7-minute walk away from our hotel, and it might actually just be faster for us to walk instead of waiting for everyone to get off the boat, get into the van and all that. Yeah.
It'll be a nice little walk.
So we're gonna have a nice little walk back to the hotel, change, and go get something to eat, because I don't know about you, but I'm very hungry.
Very hungry.
Coming up next, our time in the Philippines comes to an end as we catch a flight to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.